Hello, anybody! I am alpacapatrol, and this is Binding of Isaac the Lamb. That's right, I'm back with another, run. I'm gonna do a run, not a custom challenge run, and I am joined here by a guest, Nick, from RockLeeSmile. Nick, why don't you say hello?
Hey, everybody. It's pretty cool to be on your Isaac series. I know this is a pretty big thing on your channel.
Yeah! Yeah, I mean, a lot of people seem to like the Isaac more than everything else. Which is, I suppose, understandable. Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, you know, I regularly have guests on here. It's a fun time. But yeah, so, okay, I figured it is worth mentioning why there's no custom challenge run today. The reasoning for that is, one, we haven't done a regular run, we haven't done a regular run in quite some time, and two, is, the run involved, oh, come on, man. The run involved Cam, and also involved him reading fanfiction. It was by High9880. I'm not saying that that's not gonna happen ever, but I'm just saying Cam is hard to get around. So usually the runs that are featuring Cam, I keep in a backlog for whenever he's actually around or something. So, you know, that's why that's not going to appear on the channel right now. But we're gonna do a regular run, because regular runs are cool. Isn't that right, Nick?
They're pretty cool. I mean, I've played a lot of Isaac myself, and I know regular runs make up pretty much all of mine. Yeah,
yeah. Dude, custom challenge runs, a lot of fun. Although, in truth, like, my custom challenge runs oftentimes aren't, like, they're challenging, like, mentally more than they are to the skill of the player, which is odd to make sense about.
Yeah, mentally how? Like, keeping track of numbers from one room to the next, or something else?
Well, like, just like a lot of times it'll be like, and talk about Bane for a while. Like, the last challenge run was, like, talking a Bane voice every time I went into the boss room, so...
Oh, okay.
Oh, God!
So they're challenging your acting chops, then.
Right, exactly. I mean, we have a long history on this channel of having, runs that are just specifically, like, you know, talking a funny accent for a while, which I'm sure is going to be the most upvoted challenge run now in the in the comments down below.
Well, let's split it up, man. Fragment it. You got to pick which accent, so there's going to be a lot of competing ones to vote for.
That's true. That would be interesting. You just have like a race of like who wants what accent people want most to hear. Do you do any accents, Nick? You do any, you try any accents,
I am not into acting, unfortunately. I know that's like the worst thing I could say, but no, I really don't do any accents very well.
Well, I hate actors. That's probably pretty similar.
Alright.
It's
funny, you know, considering I spend so much time talking for people and pretending to be an entertainer, you'd think, like, I would be okay with acting.
Yeah, yeah. No, acting is... I like acting. I hate actors.
Yeah.
It's a weird dynamic! Oh, titties. Alright. This is a really hard boss to get on level 1, just BT dubs.
Yeah,
just
definitely.
An important note.
Especially with the slowest character.
Yeah, yeah. And also especially with the fact that I had just a bunch of, like, damage down things.
Right. Oh yeah, she does no damage and is super slow but has extra health, so yeah, that's pretty much the worst.
Yeah. Things are not looking good right now. I could die at any moment here, actually. Like, if RNG fucks me like it's going to right now, yep.
You're done.
Then, yeah. Alright, so I'm gonna... No, I don't want to replay! Fuck that. No, that ain't happening. Let's re-random. Let's do that. Oh, are you kidding me?
Just roll it, man. Second Maggie run's gonna be amazing.
Yeah, yeah. I guess the game just really wants me to play Maggie today. You know what? Fine. Fine, game. You want me to play Maggie? I'll play Maggie. I'll have a good time.
Good success with her, with the exception of when I never get any speed-ups. That's always the killer.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. That's why I don't like Maggie a lot of the times, because it's just like, you know, I will just not get a speed up, and it's like damn near impossible to win. Like, I could have all of the other great upgrades, but I just don't have a speed up. And then certain bosses are just like, well, too bad.
Yeah, you corner fucked.
Yep. Corner fucked, it's the best kind of fucking, though, in all honesty.
Well, you got two surfaces to lean up against, so you never feel like you're off balance.
Exactly. Roof fucking is the opposite, though. You can fall right off that shit. Yeah,
you're dead. It's a death sentence.
Exactly. You know, you thrust the wrong way, and all of a sudden, no more significant other for you.
Let's be honest, there is no wrong way to thrust.
That's a good point, yeah. I mean, you know, if someone has to die in the process of lovemaking, then hey, so be it.
Yeah,
you gotta do what you gotta do. Or to the, you know, your dick's content, really, let's be honest.
That is, yeah.
There's not a lot of heart involved most of the time.
Sure, it pumps blood to your dick, which makes it strong.
That's a good point. Yeah, it does. It does make the dick quite strong.
Strong and mighty.
It's true. It's true. Thank God we have the Widow now. Not that, like, I have anything that's particularly good against the Widow, but you know what? It's way better than goddamn Headless Horseman.
Yeah.
Although it would be pretty sweet.
Creepy about the big toes on the end of its foot.
It has big toes at the end of... Oh my god, I never really noticed that.
They're really creepy.
Yeah, those are pretty creepy. Yeah, I actually never really noticed that, to be honest with you.
Oh, sorry about that, I just sort of...
Yeah, well, now I can't unsee it. Now that's all I see. That's it.
The GoldenEye 007 box, how if you look just right, you see it looks like his mouth is elongated across the title.
I don't think I know what you're talking about, but now I don't want to look at it, because now that's all I will see. Oh, we got a speed up!
You'll just forget about it there.
I'm okay with that. Yeah, I hope so.
Good find, first drop.
Yeah! I mean, like, you know, you can't go too well on a speed up. Like, speed ups aren't that great, but, you know.
For her, they are.
Yeah, exactly. You know, when you're playing Maggie, that ain't so bad. That ain't so bad. Alright, cool. I'm gonna go up to the sacrifice room because, hey, fuck it, why not, right? I mean, that's the best way to make decisions.
You want a key real bad, I can tell.
I do, yeah. I'm not gonna get one here no matter what, but, you know, I have a but, is really what I was trying to get at there. Where do you think the secret room is?
Oh, I stopped guessing after Wrath of the Lamb came out.
I
would have said, like, at the right top. I don't know.
The right top. Alright. If I lose this bomb, it's your fault. I hope you realize that. My god, Nick. Oh, and look what you led me to. You led me to a slot machine. Yeah. By the way, Nick is screen sharing, so he can see... Or vice versa, rather. I'm screen sharing to Nick, so he can see what's going on.
I can see. There might be a slight delay. I think it might be like 2 or 3 seconds, so my voice might not line up exactly right.
Yeah. That is the case. Yeah. Who does care? I mean, there's really no way to fix that problem. Oh my god! Guardian Angel. MVP. Just saying. MVP Guardian Angel is the best. Oh, did my internet die?
Yeah, we had a little moment there. I was just saying how my voice might not line up with the cut on your end, but then you went away.
Yeah, well, yeah, that is the way. Fun fact, 3,000 people who are inevitably going to be watching this, never buy Time Warner. I will publicly out Time Warner in front of you all. They are a big piece of crap. I don't like that company at all.
Right, as a fellow New Yorker, in essence, I mean, I don't live in New York City, but I live in New York State. I also have Time Warner. Yeah, don't get them, they suck.
Yeah, they're real bad. But in truth, there's not really a good cable provider or internet provider, is there? Unfortunately.
I guess if you're within the range of Time Warner, you will have Time Warner. So yeah, that really does kind of blow.
Well, you know, they, I forget who... Someone was suing them.
Oh, great. That's good news.
Yeah. Someone was suing like all of the big companies because the big internet providers because of their basic monopolization of the market.
Right.
Like,
I was gonna say, isn't there that thing called monopolies? Isn't that a problem?
Well, see, it's a loophole though because it's not really a monopoly, right? Because theoretically, I should be able to get I should be able to choose between Time Warner and Comcast and all these things if I really wanted to. But the truth is, I'd have to move somewhere else in order to do that, right? So it's a functional monopoly, but it's not a literal monopoly. You know what I mean?
Well, it's a region lockdown. I don't understand how it's any different.
Right. Well, I mean, the part of the reason is, I suppose, the other option is that the government can force them to extend into new territories, but that's kind of the government saying, like, hey, you have to spend this much money to do this thing. Or, oh god...
Well, they regulate their rates so it makes it more competitive for other places to want to join the fight, right? Isn't that how they would do it?
Yeah, well, yeah, that's how it would be done. But I mean, then they're all in bed together, so it's either basically the government has to offer incentives for them to be in bed with the government, or the other way around. Right. And in truth, they're already in bed with the government, and the government's totally fine with the system the way it is because it makes the most money.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna bring up the whole PRISM thing, but
yeah, right. Yeah, well, yeah, that's also a thing that's pretty big news as of late is the whole PRISM dealio. I think did I talk about you? Did I talk with you about it?
I don't think we've actually had a talk about it in the last 2 days, which I think it just broke, like, yesterday, right?
Right. Well, no, it actually broke, like, a few days ago, like 4 or 5 days ago.
I might have missed the first day that it broke, and from there I was just sort of stewing in quiet rage by myself.
Well, you know, the way I feel about it... By the way, PRISM, in case people didn't know, is this, they just uncovered... There's this secret NSA operation. Do I want to take the Yumheart or Monstrous Tooth? I'm going to take the Yumheart. Yumheart's better.
Yeah, I want Yumheart, definitely.
Yeah. But, anyway, so the government, the NSA has been in cooperation with these big internet companies, and basically every big company is on there. Oh my god, we have 14 cents. Please, a single fire, give me 1 coin. No! Do I use my 1 coin, my 1 key, to take a look and see? I'm gonna do it. Ah! It worked.
Good job.
Yeah.
Very lucky.
But see, I would have had enough anyway. Anyway, so the NSA has been in cooperation with, like, Microsoft, Google, Yahoo, Skype,
AOL.
Yeah. Basically everybody.
Matters,
yeah, right, yeah, who cares about AOL? Well, and they also had Pal Talk, which I was struggling to remember what the fuck Pal Talk was.
It's apparently overseas communication thing. I think it's to do with Middle Eastern stuff, I don't know.
Well, no, I used to use Pal Talk, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, maybe it's moved to that region because it was not
Wherever I
successful
read
here
that
or
article,
something.
they mentioned that it was overseas, so that's all I know about it.
Well, I mean, yeah, I can see that. I don't know. But, so all these companies have been in cooperation with the government, with the NSA, and basically what it is they've been tracking everything. And basically everything that you've done on the internet is tracked in a giant, huge, ginormous server farm. I forget where. In in Kentucky, I think, right?
I don't remember ever hearing where the server farm was located, but I don't even know if it matters. It's just the fact that it is.
Yeah, right, exactly, yeah. Here's my thinking on this. Governments have always done this, and governments will always do this. And the truth is, there's probably no way to stop it. Now, I don't mean to say that I'm not a little bit peeved about it. The only thing that I'm a bit peeved about is that it wasn't transparent, to be honest with you.
And it still isn't. The fact that we know about it, all the companies that they've outed have also denied it, so I don't know where we're at in terms of that right now.
The one that actually really was interesting to me was, Larry Page coming out, the, head of Google, being like, hey, we didn't, oh my god.
We don't know what you're talking about. We didn't give anyone direct access. And they kept using that specific phrase, direct access, meaning we gave them indirect access, essentially.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think the implication is that the government stole our data or something.
They're quite hackers now. Okay.
Yeah, quite an implication to make. Well, see, because that's the thing, is that Google has operated on the goodwill of the people for a long time. You know, I have defended Google in that they actually turned down government programs like this before in the past.
Right.
But then they signed up in 2009 or something, apparently, according to PRISM. Or according to the leak.
07.
Oh, was it? Yeah. So, it's, I don't know. The truth is, like, here's another thing. Another argument, not against hating on PRISM, but against sort of, or like, maybe against the kind of knee-jerk reaction, is that anything that they have is completely inadmissible in court. Right?
They control the court. I mean, they don't control, but they have a hand in shaping how the court could go. Yes. Yeah, right. Well, I mean, see, that's the thing, is if they were to make a law right now that said, we can track you and then we can use anything that we want in court against you, then I would be a little bit peeved. A little bit more peeved than I am now. Well, also with the lack of transparency, who's to say that they find information that makes them question you in some way, and then decide to find some more information that has nothing to do with you, and because you have no idea where they got it and they won't tell you, you're just fucked. Right. Yeah. I mean, that's also a they have suspicions, and all of a sudden you become a person of interest, and then all of a sudden you committed all kinds of crimes you never committed because they want you away. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that is indeed the scenario. That's a possibility. I mean, like I said, this is something that governments have done forever and will do forever, and as technology gets better and better, they're going to keep doing it. And they're going to do it better, and they're going to do it more often, and they're going to do it with everything. Yeah. I mean,
my question is, how are they filtering all this data? There's billions and billions of data bits every second.
Well, see, that's the thing. They aren't. They can't. Right? Like, I was talking to my friend, the friend of the channel, Dennis. He was talking to Dennis about it, and, you know, he was also saying that, like, it's not in any way looked at, because it can't be. They'd have to hire half the population to look over the other half of the population, right?
Right.
Like, so it's actually impossible for them to do it. So, really, it's just stuff that they have. They just have it now, and it's not like people really look over it. They just have it.
They could filter by keyword, I'm sure, and they could pull stuff out as it happens.
Yeah. But we've always known that through the Patriot Act, we've always known that they were doing that. You know, the Patriot Act already made it legal, so, you know, it's sort of, oh my god.
This is a really bad spot.
It's so annoying. It's just because these guys kept making flies, and I don't have enough damage to... Oh, I hate Maggie. Yep. I really don't like Maggie.
You got it.
Yeah. But, yeah, so, I don't have any bombs. I could go to that treasure room, which I suppose I will do now. Because fuck it, why not, right? But yeah, so I mean, it's always been legal for them to track everything anyway, and they're gonna fucking keep doing it, and look, there's... The only way to stop it from happening is... Oh! That is an awesome item. Yeah. The only way to stop it from happening is if there was some sort of, you know, revolution or rebellion or something of the sort.
Right.
And even in that scenario, history has shown us that the rebels are usually just as bad as the previous regime.
And on top of it, we're completely in a submissive position as opposed to the government.
Right.
You know, I'm not sure that it's possible to rebel against the government.
No, it's really not. You know, this is actually why I've kind of said in numerous ones of my videos where, because a lot of people call me, for my views, a lot of times people call me like, well, you're such a liberal and whatnot, because I have views on, like, I was saying, you know, the one thing that really made people say that I was, like, a liberal was I was like, I don't see why execution needs to exist. It doesn't really make any sense. It doesn't really solve any problems. In fact, it just makes more problems than it solves.
I actually agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, it really does. It actually costs more to execute a person than it does to keep them alive, firstly, which is just a common argument against it, just for the sake of that saying. But, but that doesn't matter. What I'm trying to say is that I'm not really liberal on gun control. I think that there should be gun control laws, yes, but a lot of people have radical views in saying that we shouldn't be allowed to have guns. I think that is real dangerous. I think the people need to have guns. I think the people need to have that right to have guns. I think it's really, really important, actually.
But if you're citing it for the reasons that we were just talking about, in terms of, like, a revolutionary idea, that doesn't seem like it would be all that useful anyway.
Well, yeah, not for the government, yeah.
You don't have the infrastructure, the ability to coordinate in any meaningful way.
Right, yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, that is indeed the case, but, you know...
if you're not saying we want to.
Yeah, no, exactly. NSA, if you're listening, and we know that you are,
because YouTube is on the list.
Yeah, YouTube is definitely on the list. Well, yeah, I don't... See, the one thing that I'm afraid of is if there's, like, any kind of McCarthy-era shit that happens in the next, like, 10 years, where it's like, did you say that gun control was a good thing? I don't know why Yoda is going to be the next McCarthy, but,
he's getting old, man. He's Yoda. He does what he gotta do.
That's true. You know, maybe Yoda is all about gun control. It's entirely possible.
His views have shifted a lot over the years.
Yeah, over the 800 years that he's lived, you know. Although in all likelihood, he's probably way older than that, right? Because Star Wars starts with a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Right, that gives you a point of reference right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's the past. So who knows? Wow, that was lucky. Anyway, what was I saying? Gun control. Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, yes. Besides Yoda, the reason that I say that people need guns is because there sort of needs to be a balance of power between the people and the government, right? The state and the government. The state and the people. And The thing is, a lot of people forget that because we are so far removed from our revolutionary, inception.
Right, we're complacent with the idea that the government always has our best interests at heart.
Right.
When and I don't mean to get libertarian or Republican. It's just, I know, I understand that concept.
Right. Exactly. And it's sort of it's easy to say, like, I think that's sort of one of the main problems with the whole, picking a sports team of Democrats or Republicans or whatever, is that it's just real stupid. They both basically fight for the same group anyway, and that's
there is
not
no
you.
bipartisanship. I mean, there has to be in some respects, but in other ways there just isn't any. So whenever the Democrat gets elected to the office, in order to make any meaningful change happen in any way, they have to appease the Republicans anyway. And it goes in the other direction, too.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't understand really what it even means to be one or the other, because they're both going to be gray.
Yeah, right, exactly. That is indeed the case. So that's what I'm saying. This team mentality. Oh, right, yeah, secret room. I don't know.
I would.
You would not.
Yeah, that's me though. I play some conservative Isaac.
I'm so like I normally have this thing where it's like, oh man, I can have a chance to become Guppy, even though it's super low.
It's so low that I just don't even consider it a chance for me anyway.
I know it is so low. Fuck it, I'm doing it. I'm sorry, Nick.
No,
I'm not
it's all
heeding
good,
your
man.
warning.
It's your show. You have fun.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, it's just because I have so many health ups. Oh, why did I go in this room? Oh, okay. Actually, didn't work out so bad. But yeah, the reason is that I have so many health ups because of this thing that I'm about to get.
Right.
I could trade all of my health for a guppy item in a devil room if I get it. So I don't know.
But then there's still one more bit to go. I mean, that's 2 out of 3.
Yeah, I know. Believe me, I know. I just I like to be optimistic. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah. So the thing about the balance of power is that we forget about that balance of power and how that balance of power has to exist. I mean, what was it? John Locke who was saying that I don't know if it was John Locke. Maybe it was Locke. It was one of those guys, Rousseau, Locke, or something, who were saying that the people shouldn't be afraid of the state should be afraid of the people. Right?
Right.
And that is the case. That should be the case because that's the only way it makes sense.
Right.
Because you can't have the people with all the power also commanding all the fear, right?
Yeah.
So if you take away the guns from the people, there is absolutely no chance that the government is afraid of the people. Not saying that, protest
They're not afraid
and whatnot.
with the guns, though.
Right. Well, see, that's the thing, is that there's always sort of that chance, right? That there should be some sort of a violent uprising in some way or form or fashion, right?
That was nice coordination with that bomb fly there.
Yeah.
Oh, you had the treasure map, though. You knew that was there, didn't you? I just forgot.
Yes, indeed I did. But, oh, God. Alright, still good. But, yeah, so, however, there is sort of a... Oh, God. Thank you, Guardian Angel. There is sort of a distinct difference now, where, in the era of the, Revolutionary War in America...
Yeah.
And so on and so forth. Essentially, the rules were, the people had muskets, the government has muskets. Now, however, it's like the people have hunting rifles, the government has cruise missiles.
It has drone strikes.
Yeah, right, yeah. So it's sort of... The balance is already kind of lost there. But, that said, no rebellion ever really... worked without any military support anyway. It's never been a full people's rebellion, so that's also the case. But it's still, all that said, oh, titties.
That's a bad room.
Yeah, I don't like any of this mask it hard bullshit. They could all eat my butts. All of my butts, not just the one.
I figured.
Yeah. But so yeah, I don't know. I think I guess that's the whole dealio with the whole liberal and conservative thing for me.
There's a really interesting mirroring going on with the fact that this all came out, the PRISM thing, and then all the fears and concerns about the whole Microsoft thing. I mean, I don't mean to make this like that they are of equal importance or weight, because they're obviously not. But just since, this is a gaming show and a gaming channel, I figured might as well.
Yeah.
But, and maybe this is a little bit tinfoil hat kind of conspiracy theory shit, but like the whole thing about the Kinect being required to be on for authentication purposes, you know, it definitely just raises some eyebrows and makes you go like, you, Microsoft, were the first one to sign on with this whole PRISM thing. Like, you haven't earned a lot of goodwill and trust from that decision. I don't know why I should give you the benefit of the doubt that you're not going to collect my data for malicious uses, and I kind of expect that you will at this point, which is not any points in their favor for me. And I'm not implying that I know anything, I'm not implying that anything has been actually said, I'm just saying NSA. Suspicions could be possibly drawn. That's all.
I think here's an important note to keep in mind. They're still going to sell hundreds of millions of Xboxes.
I know.
It does not matter. Like, I've said this before, like, actually, I was saying this when we still had our podcast going. You know, people were all mad at me at all the... Firstly, by the way, anybody who used to watch the podcast, you know that people got angry at me when I said all the things that were going to happen with the Xbox, and people were like, no, that's stupid, they wouldn't do something like that, that's retarded, God, I hate your stupid opinions, Rob. I'm not kidding, that was one of the comments.
I've been there myself, man, I understand how it feels.
And then, but then now seeing all of the, oh god, all of the Xbox released information, and I was right on every point, and it was like, you know what? That feels good. I know, it feels good to be right. I'm not a humble man.
I'd rather have been wrong, though.
yeah, that's true. I suppose so. But, anyway, what was I saying? Oh, no, I forgot what I was saying. Something about the Xbox, though. Oh, yeah. One thing I was saying is, like, someone was like, you know, I was posing the question of, like, will it ship with a disk drive? Because I could see it possibly not shipping with a disk drive.
Yeah.
And then, you know, people overreacted and were like, yeah, well then, but then no one's gonna buy their system. And I made the comment, and I don't think I'm wrong in that it doesn't matter if they put a big fucking turd in a cardboard box.
Yeah.
People will spend $600 on that thing. Hundreds of thousands of people will spend $600 on it.
Right.
Like, it does not matter what they make.
And I believe Nintendo had been following the same ethos a little bit to some degree, which is why it's biting them so much on the ass with the Wii U right now.
Right. Yeah, precisely. So it's like you can keep your you can keep brand loyalty for quite some time. But yeah, so I don't know. This whole thing, people aren't going to give a shit. You know, the truth is, people don't have time to give a shit.
Well, they're going to be misled by marketing hundreds of times.
Right.
That's the way marketing works. That's the point of marketing, is to lie to people to make you buy their thing, or maybe not necessarily lie, but in the case of where your product is not what you want it to be, in their eyes, you need to lie, and they will lie.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I say that I'm a great channel, but really, I'm the best channel. So, you know, I lie to be humble. But in fact, you know, it works out both ways.
Having worked at GameStop for 7 years, I know the people that come to buy these systems, and, okay, so the guy that comes in for Call of Duty and Madden doesn't give a fuck. The mom that's buying it for his kid for Christmas doesn't give a fuck. The dad that just wants to set it up for his entertainment center because he wants to watch Blu-rays, he doesn't give a fuck. The only people that care are the people that are talking about this shit, and they are, unfortunately, they've become a pretty big minority in this case.
Yep. Although, I will say that there is a little bit of a shift, especially in this... Oh, titties.
More vocal than we used to be, at least.
Yeah, I mean, there's a shift in like, intelligent consumers right now, because I think a lot of people are consuming intelligent media in the way that, like, you know, people are getting a lot of their information through shit like this, you know?
Yeah.
And, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people hadn't heard about the whole PRISM thing until they watched this video. You know? So, it's the same kind of idea that, oh, titties. I hate fighting the bloat. So yeah, I don't know. I think we're more intelligent consumers, but all that said, not everyone is, and it's not enough. It's not enough that it's going to make any sort of reasonable difference in pricing or in whatever.
Yeah. I'm just kind of glad that I found a community now where I can have sorts of opinions about this type of invasive procedure in terms of selling something and not feel completely shunned and ostracized by the people around me, because that's the way I used to feel. Like, if I wasn't in for the brand loyalty, I was basically just an asshole who was complaining and felt entitled. Like,
right, yeah.
There's some people who get it now.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. It is a little bit... You know what's funny, by the way, just as sort of a tangential note, you were mentioning the guy at Madden who doesn't care, or the guy who buys Madden who doesn't care. I always felt so insecure when I would buy Madden at GameStop that every time I would go and buy Madden, I bought like 3 different Maddens, I'll be totally honest here. Every time I would go and buy Madden, I would make sure I started a conversation about some other game that was gonna come out.
Okay, maybe I shouldn't be throwing out blanket statements then, I apologize.
No, well, I mean, it's I mean,
you know
it's
who
true.
I mean, though. You know, the buzz-cut guy wearing the jersey that came for the midnight launch?
Yeah,
got Doritos and Mountain Dew in his hand.
Well, you're not wrong. Also, the majority of people are like that. But I mean, I just found it funny because like I always, whenever I go and buy Madden, it's just like, yeah, I'm really excited for Sleeping Dogs or whatever, and they're like, oh yeah, sure.
And then you'd be like, so you want to pre-order next year's Madden then?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, no, I was talking about Sleeping Dogs. You want to pitch that to me? Nah, no, probably Madden. How do you think about Madden?
Trust me, I'm a real gamer too. I don't just like sports games.
No, Rob, we've pigeonholed you. I'm sorry, you're not getting back in.
Yeah, I know. I realize. I accept that. I accept that to play Madden. I accept it. Even though last Madden fucking totally shit on my face.
I remember Madden 2006, man. That had snow effects. And, and
you know what's funny?
Updates.
You know what's really funny about the Madden series is that it not only has it not progressed since that era. I'm talking specifically. Yeah, it was specifically the year that you even mentioned, 2006.
Yeah.
It hasn't. Not only has it not progressed since that era, it has just in the past 2 years gotten back to the amount of features that era had.
Right. Well, that is what the next generation was all about when 2006 rolled around. It was about how many features can we strip out in the guise of sweet graphics, man.
Right,
and then slowly add them back in with DLC purchases.
That is exactly what happened, and it sucks. However, I didn't play Madden in that period. Like, I played only at the later stage when it already had all the shit in that it has, like... that it has now that people missed out on for years. Oh, butts.
I was always entertained by the copies of Madden 2006 that would be on the shelf that were like 2 cents. Like, it was probably more worth it to just throw them in the trash compactor than it was to take up the shelf space, but we left them there anyway.
Yeah. No, that's true. You could still get, like, that's still the case in GameStops where you get used copies of Madden, except now you can't play them online.
Smashed, destroyed boxes that are just like a couple of shards with a hanging piece of plastic wrap coming off of them.
Yeah. Well, you know what's funny is the whole sports... this is an interesting topic, I think, sports games. Because I think they get a worse rap than they should... and then at the same time, I think they get less than they deserve in hatred. So it's weird because here's it's this weird thing where it's completely contradictory. Because here's the thing, they get a bad rap for the wrong reason. This is sort of why I'm saying it. Yeah. Is like they get a bad rap because people are like, you get a game where it just plays itself for you and stuff, and it's like, oh, that's so much fun. And like all this shit.
Hey, you get sweet achievements for that, man. Don't knock that.
Well, see, here's the thing: is people don't actually realize how complex fucking sports games are. Like, for instance, Madden. What they're doing is they're simulating players' actions based on what the actual player in the league would do.
Right.
Based on just a set of numbers and dice rolls. But the dice rolls have to be accurate enough that people have to feel like it's okay for that kind of thing to happen.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it'll kill the suspension of disbelief.
They're summarizing entire personas in numbers. Yeah, that is pretty impressive.
Right! And the other thing is, Todd Howard actually said this. He's like, one of my favorite RPGs of all time is a game that I buy every year, which is NCAA football. And Todd Howard, by the way, creator of, the Elder Scrolls series. Not really creator, but, he's been working on the series since Morrowind.
My condolences for him, then.
Yeah, but the the thing is, he said that was his that he likes playing NCAA football as an RPG because when you're playing NCAA football, you're not just leveling one character, you're leveling like 50. And that's the truth. Like it's actually like when you think of it in terms of an RPG, it's actually really, really fun because you're just leveling up a multitude of characters. It's almost like XCOM in a lot of ways. Well, you grow attached to the characters and stuff.
Like that too.
Do they? Well, yeah, I guess so in a way. Yeah,
I'm not into sports culture. That's the reason that I would prefer to do something fantasy based instead of based in reality like that.
Right, yeah, no, I mean, that's understandable as well. However, I will say that the way that I play football, or the way I play Madden, is, like, totally in a fantasy-type setting. Right. Like, a lot of times, what Madden 08 used to have, is it used to, or it had, in Madden 08, was you had these fantasy stadiums that, like, you'd be, like, playing football in, like, a volcano, or, like, in the frozen wastelands and stuff. That was always kind of cool, and there were, like, these special teams of just, like tackling dummies only, or like monsters and stuff, and that was cool.
Man, I was into like Bill Laimbeer's combat basketball on the SNES, and what was the other one? There was a football one where you're like monsters fighting each other, and limbs would fall out.
Oh yeah, mutant football.
Yeah, there was a baseball one where you played as robots and you could shoot lasers at each other. That was all good. I like that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, if they added that kind of thing with kind of the progression of a regular football franchise mode, where because like what I like to do is I play it like a sim, like I'm the head coach or I'm the GM of a football team, and where do I want to go? I still don't have a key. It's unfortunate. Where I'm the where I'm the GM or the head coach or something, and I actually don't even. Okay, so here's the thing. This is what I do in Madden, and this is why the last Madden screwed me. Because they took this shit out. Basically, I would not actually play the game. I would watch my team play against other teams. Like, I would not choose a slot to play in, and I would just let the players play themselves, and I'd watch as if I were watching a Sunday night football game or something. So that sounds real weird, right?
Is that like your draft or something? Like, what are you doing that for?
That's basically the enjoyment that I derive from playing franchise mode is just leveling up the characters, by you know making them by like giving them reps and such, and you know and watching them play out and see what kind of like based on all the things I do.
The AI and how you set it up.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I want to see my strategies come into play during the game and such.
Yeah.
And see if my players do well. Now, the reason that I like doing this is because it's sort of an imperfect game in that I'm gonna lose here. I don't think I'm gonna live through this. I have like no upgrades at all. Like I have nothing good.
All right.
But the thing is. The reason that I do this is because when I play the game, if I were to take control of the team, I will take a team that wins like 0 games in the last season and make them lose 0 games in the next season, right? Just because I'm better than the computer at playing the game. And that's really boring for me. It makes me feel like any decisions that I actually made were useless, like, because I could win with any team. Alright, I died. But, like, you know, I could win with any team, and that's kind of stupid. Like, that just doesn't feel good to me. Like, it just feels like I've wasted my time doing the extra stuff, and I should just skip it and just play the matches.
It's sort of like how they auto-level up now in most RPG, like action RPGs, like in Skyrim or something, where the higher you level, the more everything around you levels too. So there's no reason to level anymore.
Right, yeah, exactly, yeah. Yeah, unless they're giving you, like, some kind of cool skill that looks fun or something like that.
Right.
Yeah, precisely. Yeah, that is indeed the case, and it's just sort of boring.
It's rubber band AI is what it is. Basically, it's equating it to a racing game where they catch up to you no matter how far ahead you get.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and believe me, Madden has had its share of really, really shitty AIs in the past. Actually, speaking of which, now that I think about it, I think the new information about Madden 14 might have just came out. Anyway, the reason that I mentioned that too was because the last Madden game that they put out, for some fucking reason, They decided to remove the ability to watch your team play.
Oh.
Now, here's the thing. Yeah, they forced you to play, which is just like, why would you eliminate a feature? Exactly, it is. It's just completely arbitrary. They just removed a feature that there was no reason to remove it, and this is every fucking year with Madden.
Are they going to sell it back to you as DLC?
I don't know. Well, see, here's the thing. I found out after that I am not the only one who does this. In fact, there's an entire community of people who play Madden in that exact same fashion.
Sure.
They're
people
called
probably
Simmers.
Bet on them.
Yeah, that's a possibility too. Actually, that'd be pretty interesting. But no, I mean, there's a whole community of us who play the game like that and really enjoy it, and that was a waste of my money because they ruined the game for me. I barely played it. Because it's just like, well, I could just take a shitty team. Because what I like to do is I like to jump in with the worst team in the league and see how quickly I can make them Super Bowl contenders and stuff.
To segue this in a sort of a meaningful way, so welcome to being the minority in yet another sub-minority. You are now not being catered to in the Madden football franchise as well as the overall scheme of Xbox or, console gaming.
Right, yeah. That is indeed the case. So, yeah. But... I know, one thing to look forward to, one bright side of this whole thing.
What's that?
EA got sued, and they're not allowed to hold the only license to Madden, or the NFL.
Sweet.
So after 2014, they can't renew their exclusive license. Then we're going to get a bunch of other companies starting their own football games, and maybe we'll actually have real innovation in the series.
Weren't there competing series 6 years ago or so, and then...
Yep. 2005. That's why I mentioned that.
It didn't really drive much innovation then, though.
No, it did. See, the thing is, 2K5 was way better. Okay, here's the thing. There is an entire group of people who regularly update, they make patches, monthly for NFL 2K5. Because it's a better game than the modern Madden. It has, voiceovers from all these ESPN guys. It has, a draft breakdown with randomly generated draft members who have their randomly generated stories. It has highlights of games that you didn't even watch that they just procedurally generate and let you watch.
I wasn't specifically speaking on NFL, though. That's the thing. I was sort of more citing the whole NBA and, MLB. Because I think those had a little bit more... they both come out every year and be average.
Yeah, well, actually, what's funny is the truth is that there is innovation in those as well.
Okay.
You have MLB The Show. I don't play the games, but MLB The Show is by far better than the other competitor, which is 2K MLB. And then the other one is NBA and EA, right, where they have NBA Live and 2K basketball, and NBA Live was so bad that they actually had to cancel the series because people just went over to 2K because it was a better game because they just kept adding more and more features to make it good.
I don't remember what year it was, but I'm going to guess 11 or 12 for the NBA. I think it was Live, but I could be wrong. It might have been 2K, but they didn't even have proper motion physics. They were basically just gliding across the floor. What year is it? And you can't figure that shit out? That is the most basic thing that you should start your engine on.
You want to know something really, really funny?
I would
love to. What was the leading feature, the main feature of Madden NFL 13?
Tim Tebow.
Well, besides that.
I don't know.
Physics.
I love physics. Physics are what makes it exciting and emergent. That makes, the exciting moments happen and the cinematic moments.
Right. But just try to put that into perspective. In 2013, they added the first physics engine to Madden.
That's because they didn't want to update the engine because they wanted to keep rehashing the same engine year after year, just like Call of Duty.
Yeah.
So that's laziness and bad time budgeting.
It is, but it's just so absurd to think about that, you can consider physics a feature. The ball doesn't even have physics yet. Can I just say, the Total War games, the medieval Total War, Rome 2 Total War is coming out soon. Did you know that each of the, if you're playing Napoleon Total War, say, you have a bunch of units shooting muskets. Did you know that each musket ball has physics and ballistics attached to it? Each individual musket ball, there are thousands fired at once in any given game of Napoleon Total War. each of those balls have physics.
To be fair, each musket ball has a much lesser impact on the overall outcome of that war than one football does in a game of football.
That's true.
And each player.
Yet, it's still the case of something that, like, where it's like, can you take out dice rolls and just give us some physics here? At this point, it's 2013. I'm just saying. Maybe I'm...
Well, no, I think that there's two competing viewpoints on that, whether or not they want dice rolls versus physics. I'm sure physics could be great at times, too, but I don't know if the goal is always to simulate it perfectly.
Right, well, that's
it's
actually...
to play to the strengths of these stats that we've built the characters on. We're not dealing with humans, we're dealing with automatons with numbers for stats.
If you do it both ways, you have to do it with both. I mean, there's RNG and dice rolls with the physics,
Did you get
right?
Crit, throw, right. I understand.
Yeah, because there are because the thing is, there's a lot of times in Madden where a defender will their hand will phase through the ball, and nothing will happen because of the dice roll. Where that's a period where it's just like, okay, your dice roll fucked up. The guy was in the position that he should have been in.
Yeah.
And physics should take over there, right? I mean, there's like in that scenario, dice roll doesn't matter because my immersion is gone now. You know what I mean? So immersion should be the most important. Yeah, no, totally.
We're going off of stats, so we want to make it fall in line with the stats, which requires it to be scripted instead of based on physics.
Right. Yeah. No, I mean that is also true. It is sort of a delicate line to tread.
Right.
But I mean, you know. It's something that's their fucking job.
I never would have thought I would have gotten so far into meta gameplay concepts for sports games today, but it's a fun chat. I really enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly. And especially since it's a long outro, I always do these long outros. It's like a 10-minute outro. That's how this shit goes down. But anyway, thanks for joining me, Nick.
Of course, anytime. I always enjoy chatting with you, Rob.
Yeah. So, by the way, Nick's channel is going to be linked down in the description. So feel free to go over there. And he does a lot of, he does an indie impression series where he shows off indie games that you will most likely, like 90% to 95% of them you will never see on this channel. So if you want like a lot of variety, go to Nick's channel, it's cool.
Thanks.
But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Nick, would you like to say goodbye to these fine folks at home?
Yeah, thanks very much for watching. It was a lovely chat. I would love to do this again sometime.
Yeah, definitely. I always have guests on, so, whenever you're around and I'm recording.
Of course.
I'll have a good time. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Post your custom challenge runs down below to do myself better one. However, if you add Cam in, then I don't know if I'm gonna be able to, is all I'm trying to say. Anyway, this is Alpacapatrol signing out. Peace, fools.